Good morning, good day, good evening, everybody. I'm Takashi, and I am here with trestwho.
Hi, Takashi. I'd like to mention the fact that a few minutes ago I just recently noticed a detail about this picture that you have here that eluded me until now. And
Yes?
that is the fact that Raven is just as amused as Starfire is. Um, I thought she was groaning in with the image of that background there, and that would have been perfectly in character. But then I took a closer look at her mouth and noticed a tiny detail that really changes the picture. Don't you notice it?
Yeah? I think all the scene where this picture from, they were laughing at Garfield.
Yeah, I figured that part of the picture was not Photoshop. Probably the one in the background is.
Yeah, badly got together, but it's fine.
Yep.
But, well then, shall we begin? It's gonna be a long journey because there's still a lot left out from this paragraph of the chapter.
Uh, well, I
And
agree. We should, we should,
I am not sure if I can do the whole thing, but we will see.
we can begin.
Right. They were on a submarine last time. That's where we left off. They were going to Blood.
Well, some of them. Others were holding back, celebrating someone's birthday.
Yeah. From a submerged antipode of the base of Titan's Island, a large oil submarine swam out silently the undersea reef, watching through the individual mobile canopies. Titans carefully monitored their approach to the jumps in the dockyard. Seeing the instrument, Cyborg drove them in. I'm just saying, man, it's unfair. Bismarck whined through the intercom. Garfield, get over it. Yes, get over it. Lyra shot back. You will have your day off tomorrow when we celebrate Tommy's birthday. Oh yeah, that. I know, but still. Despite himself, Lightning couldn't tell but smiled at the two friends bickering. It was like a change of face. From Raven's racial motorway seemed moodiness. A return to normalcy. The most smile on Sapphire's face told him that she felt the same way. I feel like my mother is coming home. You will hear a lot of barking.
But do you feel like chicken tonight?
No?
Well, we'll have to see once you conclude the night.
Let me smile back before flattening his face and focusing himself on the task at hand. His mind ran through the possibilities of how events might transpire, whether they would go perfectly according to plan, no they never do that, or if they would fall flat on their face. He started to think of the worst case scenarios, but think of them he did all the same. If there was one thing that mattered than to him, it was to plan for every scenario. I mean, I remember one thing of, who would win in this scenario? It depends on the planning time, right?
Probably depends on a lot of things, including the surrounding situation.
No, for Batman, it depends on how much time he has for preparing.
He could still win with very little preparation, depending on what he's facing.
Yeah, but he always overprep. Just like the Witcher.
If he can, yeah, he would be at his best.
I mean, the main reason that he is just a human that has money and good brain.
Oh, very good trading too.
Yeah. There's more to say he would go as far as his father did at times. Not that he couldn't understand why Batman did what he did. After all, the Tower was equipped for one such possibility at him and his past. Ah, so that Tower had a nuclear bomb in it. We are approaching the north now, Tower declared, nothing nice thing from his recommendations. Looking up, he saw the Cyborg statement was accurate. The T-Stop was located directly under in the center north, resting on the ocean floor. The HQ, let me activate a few buttons. A voice and the submarine's active camouflage system activated. Unlike some other thing.
Even their submarines specialize in stealth.
Yep. Holding subs photoreactive panels to shape colors and texture to blend into the ocean floor. Once it was completed, I replaced a remainder on his face, and acting the thumbs up to the rest of his team. Those signaled back after preparing themselves, and a moment later the cockpit slowly became filled with seawater. This proves that Cyborg doesn't have his large transparency. He still is breathing to breathe air.
There it is. I see the water.
Ha! But they were all filled with water. The sheet opened and allowed the superheroes to gracefully swim out toward the far side of the north. This boy automatically had the least amount of difficulty. Wait.
Transform is something aquatic.
I told that Beast Boy was sad because he was left behind to have the birthday party. No, he was sad because he wasn't left behind for the birthday party. As he simply turned himself into a fish as well on the seaman. Starfire and Raven swimming after him. Starfire had a reminder of her own over her face, while Raven was surrounded with genetic magical sphere around her head. Time walked well with to swim, many walked along the ocean floor. Nightwing swimming over him with a pair of flippers, deploying from his suit's moods. The team who reconvened on the later entry point. Why did you spin your arm repeatedly? Nightwing signaled the Titan, swim up toward the surface. It is so, silently, and without question. I mean, it's not like they could ask a question while underwater and having him in the mouth. A while later, the head broke through the water surface. When they proceeded to scan animals for eyes. At the same time, Cyborg hacked into nearby security cameras to remove them from view. Wow. Why would there be security cameras in the ocean? Cyborg, I know you are talking about the shore, but it sounds like they went up in the middle of the ocean and he hacked all the security cameras.
You know, the Jedi were using a device like that in the Phantom Menace, and I used to think that what it does is extract oxygen molecules from the water. But based on the name, I think what it does is you breathe out carbon dioxide, and that device immediately turns it back into oxygen again. You're breathing the same air back and forth.
I mean, usually you actually have an oxygen, what is it called?
Tank?
Tank, yeah, with it.
Oh yeah. This is not recycling air in that case. You breathe in air and you expel it out as water bubbles going up to the surface, and eventually you're gonna run out of oxygen in the tanks.
Yeah, I always assume that they have an oxygen tank as well.
But I'm thinking this is a device that puts oxygen right back into the carbon dioxide molecules, and I suspect it costs electricity to maintain this. Otherwise, they could just do it infinitely with the same breath of air going back and forth.
And I assume it's not the best anymore. It
Uh,
can't do it infinitely, you know.
I think that's the point of the device, is to clean the same breath of air over and over again.
I mean, it's technology we don't have, so it's easy to make things if you have unobtainium.
Oh, we should better obtain that then.
Yeah?
That could be useful.
The team should recommend other than that at the point. What did you figure out repeatedly? Wait, I had that.
Yeah, we read that. I think you're in the next paragraph.
Yeah, I was like, wait. Was it clear? That we whispered as he motioned for everyone to get out of the water. Eyeing a low ladder on the far side of the north. Heading toward it, they each got of the water. I think there's an out missing. They got out of the water. Usually, before we finding cover among the many other shipping containers. They soon found a proper vantage point on the mountain of containers. One that would ensure they would be able to keep eyes on everything, while at the same time preventing anyone from seeing them. Raven, Starfire, and Beast Boy flew towards it, Starfire holding Cyborg in her arms at the same time, while Nightwing making effort to the item. Oh yeah, Nightwing, it makes the girls do the heavy lifting. I know they have magic power, but still. And the heroes began to assemble. And place surveillance gear around the side. Then we began to going over the plan one more time. Why are you placing surveillance gear if Cyborg disabled them? You should have hacked into the surveillance system and take control over it. Instead of placing your own.
Maybe that would be better, unless that could be detected. But anyway, they're setting up their own gear, which I assume is harder to detect and.
I mean, yeah,
visually discovered.
That's true, but still, they were saying that the surveillance cameras are not working anymore.
I'm guessing though, if you just work through both, you just have more vantage points.
Yeah.
Maybe even inside the ship, if there's surveillance cameras in there too.
But I see the reasoning as well, because I'm pretty sure that Mother Blood is not taking suspicious cargo from in front of cameras. He always chose this side because there are not many surveillance cameras around here. Let me begin to go over the plan one more time. The ship should be coming in around midnight, but after the dog workers have left for home. The ones who are left are those likely on Blood Alter's payroll. So, do you assume that they are working together? Or do you just not know who is behind it yet? No, you literally said that Luthor is not here. Wait, no. Yeah, the reason why they might actually link them together is because the mercenary who was here last time is under Luthor's contact right now. That might leave Mother and Luthor together. And, oh, they might be working together. That would be terrible, by the way.
Yeah, they're setting up themselves in advance before the ship even shows up to prepare, and they already had some idea of who they're working with. Slade Wilson was the guard for a ship of merchandise that he seems way overpaid for a job like that. So, and that which made them conclude that the one who could be rich enough to pay someone that skilled of a mercenary would be Luthor.
Yeah.
And the one who probably wants the shipment, whatever that is Brother Blood. So there's kind of a cycle between those three characters.
Also, if Lex hates Superman because he's not from this world, because that's the only reason why he hates him, then he wouldn't like the Titans either. Because there are multiple outsiders.
Sure, but not all of them. He might be okay with Robin / Nightwing.
I mean, we are in the multiverse, so we don't know. The friend of my enemy is my enemy as well.
Yeah. I think the only reason he has against Nightwing is that sometimes a boy like that might get into Luthor's business in the wrong way.
Yeah.
But not an alien. And yeah, what about Cyborg? He might not have as much of an issue against him either, because he's 100% human except for the cybernetic parts.
I'm gonna pull up a picture.
I think the parts were made mostly through human hands too. Even Luthor's a little bit guilty of exploiting alien technology.
I mean, I'm gonna pull up one thing. So, no, he wouldn't have any problem against Cyborg.
Yeah.
He himself had deployed some mech suit before.
That's not cybernetic, it's a mech suit, but it's so close. Yeah, the thing is, you could just take it off, like clothes. And to let you know, you were on the last sentence of that paragraph.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Our job until then is to figure out who is who. That job is this. Oh wait. I don't mean the character from One Piece. This is.
Hey, there was
a that job.
One Piece does have a cybernetic character, and it's actually one of the main characters too, Frankie.
Yeah. Not only one, there are multiple. But the ship doesn't arrive. We are not going to attack right away. I have my shield is to gather evidence, not make a rush. I would prefer if no one ever knew we were here. At the same time, we motivate infiltrate the ship and enable the engine from underwater, causing any possible escape. If things get hairy, we go down, making everyone, and destroying any defenses, while keeping the evidence intact. That's our priority. Wait. You are contradicting yourself. We are not here to make Earth, but destroy the engine to not make them escape. So are you here to escape or not?
Okay, going with what he's saying here, we're here to prevent their escape without them ever knowing we were here. I guess.
Yeah, it will be thought that the engine suddenly had 3 claw marks on it, and
they'll just shrug like, I guess it broke on its own.
Yeah. It must have been the wind.
Damn wind. Guilty of so many things as a suspect.
Yeah.
You know, if things get hairy, they're probably gonna have conflicts with Slade Wilson, and he's kind of tough.
Especially by someone fast. It must have been
Okay.
the wind. Nothing. Understood. Question. Number 7, my fascinating friend. Is there anything in particular you think we should go after? That makes you sad. A server doing manifest things of that nature. And that we can tie that to the bottom line. Especially server I don't have answer for. You know what? It doesn't matter what he's taking, you will never get any evidence of that unless you open up the case. Because I'm pretty sure that the paperwork is fake. Manifest is a lost cause. Listen. It's in the hand of God. This is forged and altered. What you guys want? Will want? 1 million. What I said as well, and who are you?
I think that's what the Titans are wondering too, until they start deciphering more details.
I mean, until I find at least a little bit of description of who is that other than a woman. I think in the rest of the Titans, do not see a young girl in the late teens. Kinda none of them with a cat-like pink eyes. I don't think Catwoman has pink eyes, so
I'm convinced this is a character that's not appeared in this story yet, but the Titans might still know.
her pink hair was started to look like a horn, with black bands holding that together. With purple and black outfit combining with her witch-like appearance.
I have a strong feeling this character is on positive terms with the Titans here.
I mean, it could be semi-positive. If I couldn't tell what frowned at the girl's presence. Yeah. But the others looked at her apprehensively, except for Starfire, who was jubilant. I am pretty sure I've seen her. I don't know how to put her into who she is, or what she is. Thanks! Maybe you can join us. What?
This is starting to remind me of Catwoman.
Yeah, immediately Casper came to mind, but it's not.
However, the witch-like appearance indicates that this character is probably more mystical than that.
Yeah, I remember her. I don't know what she did or what happened to her.
Oh! That character at least was a villain. You know, the appearance is a little familiar to me.
The hero is was a villain, right? He smiled back before leaping down to join the rest of the Titans. With a swelling flip, landing on her feet like a graceful cat. Standing upright, she walked over to join Nightwing at the edge of the platform, to overlook the aircraft. Jeez, he said. That's for us is. Sorry for the short notice. Jake chuckled. You are not sorry. I made it as well, calling Jake to take in an affirmation before continuing. Listen, no. There I was just chilling in Central City, living with my boyfriend. And I get a random call in the middle of the night, asking me to come back now here, and have you guys take that bottom blood. I could have gone without seeing Miss Dark and Brody over there, a few more months. Meaning Raven. They are literally the opposite side of the same coin. Raven cows in a lawyer. What do you expect to know? Raven, seriously, you champion. You lose control right now. And me, just having you, and this entire operation is lost. I mean, she is right at the moment. On the response, Raven just hopped and walked to the far side of the platform. That had much her go, and made my awkwardly showing before walking over to join her. Cyborg and Sapphire, meanwhile, joined Nightwing and Jinx on the overlook. Seeing them, Jinx had a little smile, although to our Cyborg, the smile was a bit more genuine. Why is she here? Raven grumbled at Beast Boy. I turned back. I mean, didn't you hear what he said? That Homer literally asked her here. Do you remember what Nightwing said? Miss Boy replied. She used to work under Mother Blood a few years back, but she was still part of the High Five. And I don't think about it. She knows more.
Okay, hold on. Look up that. A picture of High Five. That's probably the supervillain group that I'm thinking of.
It's Miami.
I
Oh
can't
yeah!
even think.
I remember them. Oh wow, that's a big picture. Let me zoom out.
Oh yeah, there you go. I think the idea was they were supposed to be designed as the anti Teen Titans Force, another group against a group.
Also, it's funny how there's actually not 5 of them, but 6.
Right.
They cannot count!
Or they had the name that stuck around even after a 6-member or whatever joined.
I mean,
He says, we got all the business cards and all that by then. Like, we're not going to change our name just because you showed up.
I mean, she left, so there's only 5 of them left.
Perhaps, unless the entire group disbanded. I'm not sure.
Who knows? He knows more about this operation than any of us. The team of workout would have worked. In the able side commands, they started to talk. In all seriousness, it's good to see you willing to shoot again. Tell in all of the hero thing, right? Yup. And it isn't likely to change anytime soon. Hammer replied, we were letting out the smoke. How about you? How's life in Central City? Dull. He shot and leaned against the interior wall. I'm still under probation. Here of which, me helping you that is encountered a violation of that. So if I'm going down, you are going down with me. So I can't do anything. Can't even help a kid. Help kids pass with this here work.
Well, maybe they can get this to count as community service against their probation.
Yeah, it reminds me of Ant-Man. Who did the same thing. Yeah, I'm still under probation, I can't move. But
And
also he
if
did.
she had a damn bomb printed into her somewhere, then it would actually be the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. How is Wally, by the way? Sapphire asked. Is my mom in his phone? And Sapphire has one in the card. Oh, that's so sweet. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Because that's Starfire still speaking in that end of that paragraph there. What provoked that?
I think they missed the answer. Here should be the answer of what she said, probably. I suppose.
And well, it says Starfire responded in kind, so it's still her speaking.
Yeah. So this answer was cancelled out of this thing. He's a sweetheart, really, they clarified, from the back of the platform. He's more gagged while he was on her eye. They engaged acting like an abstract tour with Kid Splash. Was that something? Wait, was that Kid Splash one? Yeah, that's one of the 5. 6. Yeah, that's Kid Splash right here, right there.
No, I don't think so.
That's not Kid Splash?
I know that Kid Flash has like a yellow uniform that looks very close to the Reverse
yeah.
Flash.
Then who is this guy?
I don't know, but something about the symbol on his chest indicates division.
Yeah, Kid Splash is this one. He's this one.
That's the outfit that the Reverse Flash based his outfit on. The character he wanted to be. There's a weird scribble over this picture. I don't know why.
That's a 5. Okay, the team called with Jinx, Gizmo, Mammoth, Private Hive, Timor, and Minimus, and Kid Wicked. And Gizmo became the leader when Jinx left. So they are still a thing. And they are literally 5 members now.
Okay. It's beginning to seem like Jinx has drifted away from the supervillain business because of her affection for certain specific heroes.
Yeah. Because she got a boyfriend. That's the reason she left.
I wonder if she was pretty casual back in the day as well.
I mean, she was the last affected by the.
And I have a feeling that her powers has something to do with causing misfortune and curses to others. Which does lean in the mystical.
Yeah. Doesn't make up the best form. Means more guys. But I heard I will say alright, I heard that one. Hey, indeed, I think like a love story cool with Kid Flash. Was that something she wanted to see from a supervillain? Continuing, he said, he wanted to come and help, but I told him to stay back home. After all, this is an expression pattern. Remembering the last time, he and the rest of the format teams interacted with Gerald, and how he took control of their minds and turned them into meat puppets and clowns. He is mine.
That adds another layer to her presence, a personal objective.
Yeah, and it makes sense why that's being as her.
Well, yeah, the fact that she had that history is causing her to be more cooperative. Besides that, from Nightwing's perspective, she has more knowledge about the goings on of this particular group.
Yeah. You may need to get in line for that, that's being implied. Please head towards Haven. Next one, turn back to face Haven for me for month. I'm willing to share if you are.
That's the question. More like an offer, actually.
Yeah. Haven didn't Haven didn't respond for a moment before nodding. Haven nodded back before looking back down. Anyway, back why we are here. I've been taking out this place for almost a day, figuring out who is on Luther's payroll. I can feel a sneeze coming on. Yeah. And I can feel that sneeze coming. Sorry about your ears. You can tell who they are? Then yes, join the discussion. Listen. Mm-hmm. There is a possibility point towards some kind individuals. To the outside guy, they appear as normal as any North worker. I knew some of them back in my hard days. We moved moral parts to them, and that's why they will still be in the game, even now. Although it was alright, they expanded it to a few more people. You didn't let the police know about smugglers? You were content, but you stand back. I did, and they are still here. In case you have forgotten, Luther got his little board everywhere. And he is not about to let his work and go to jail for smuggling. I mean, yeah, Luther has done all the paperwork. And he has all the authorities.
Yep. Well, plus the criminal. He could actually have mob bosses in his pocket too.
Yeah?
Whatever it takes to succeed.
And for that reason, he might even have the police in his palms.
Yeah, because that's what mob bosses sometimes do.
Yeah? And you tie things back to him, and he can't have that. Although, if you fear too much, he left her under hanging, but I didn't so no need for her to finish the note. They understood what she meant. Did anything interesting happen last time? I mean, yes. And you nodded. So, she spent all this taking out. The whole night.
Yet another reason to call her in for this, because she's already got information because of earlier stakeouts.
Yeah? Also, she might be actually the informant to begin with. He might be the one that called that thing. About this, state shipment.
Yeah, possibly. But a lot of this information came from, Oracle, and wherever she got her information from, which could include Jinx. It's possible.
Yeah? As well as
Let me put it this way. Oracle is probably the best one that organized the information from a wide variety of sources.
There you go.
Especially the digital department.
Yeah, but as we said, normally you don't do this kind of thing in front of cameras. A smaller shipment came in. It was weird though. They found $200 to look at her. What do you mean? Sapphire asked. I mean, that Oracle lady led me to believe that blood was bringing in weapons, guns, rocket launchers, and so on. I saw that bot. They both thinking about her words. There was something else. A completely sealed cage. Several of them, in fact. Wow. We are going back to over marathon again. Wow. Remember in the morning?
Yep. But if anyone's watching this video and not the other one, go ahead and flash that picture again.
I mean, probably everyone knows who Marathon is.
Oh, sure. But they might not have seen that particular picture.
I'm just gonna bring in another one. Ah! Because there are millions of pictures of him saying wow.
I'll take it.
I couldn't see inside, but the workers were scared shitless of whatever they had. They were so focused on keeping their guards trained only that they didn't notice me swiping whatever I could over them. Nightwing and the rest of the Titans looked at each other in worry before looking back at Jinx. Did you find out anything else about these cages? Names? What was in them? Anything at all? Raven asked. I think you could. Not much, but I found they may small amounts over from past few weeks. Only a few per shipment, very exciting. They looked back down at the dockyard before looking back up. I think he's planning to undergo some sort of ritual with them. But other than what, I have no idea. That is the worst case scenario if you are imbuing them with magical powers. And even if they don't know what they are, we can be sure that these are claimed. Probably incubated, let's just say incubated by Luthor. Do you get a shot on them? They will follow them. I'm doing the same with her own money. I get the probability, not magic, they found.
Which confirms my theory. She's basically like the Scarlet Witch, at least initially. Although I believe that witch was also very good at emotion sensation, which I suspect Jinx doesn't. But that was the first power that Scarlet Witch has, was controlling probability.
Ah.
I mean, this is the kind of lady who can just roll a natural 20 every time she wants to, I think.
It's kind of very nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. And admittedly common misconception before time. Whatever was inside the cage, it felt like pure evil. The description literally said, it's him.
Well, if she's right, the Titans can at least understand why someone like Brother Blood might be interested in it.
And we can definitely say that it is on this Discord. Or trouble.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. And, jeez, if it was, how did they keep it in the cages?
Magic.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at the tea tower.
And the sea tower.
Those at the tea tower were having tea time.
Meantime, back at the sea tower.
Just before they became one with the couch.
I assume there is some happy music going on because they are celebrating birthday.
Probably. You know what, though? Your previous music wasn't very good for a stealthy operation here. You know, actually, the first song you played in the beginning of this video might be better. Or more appropriate.
I may not
It's a
find
little
it.
faster.
That's the problem.
Oh.
That's some jazzy music. Yeah.
It's a bit decent. It's kind of jazzy.
That is the title of the song as well. Jazzy. You know, they like to use description as or some of us did.
I rest my case then.
A million back against one of the couches. But I started shot. I see suddenly breathing in and out. You
And
appear
then
to
she
be
sank
asleep.
into the couch.
What?
And then she sank into the couch.
Yeah? You appear to be asleep. And then the rest of your friends. Much she was anything but. It's a deep in the region of her mind, but we sat inside her own dorm room in Beacon Academy. Everything looked and felt exactly as she remembered it. From the precarious bunk bed, and to the two-room and carefully placed books, to the process of the wall. He was told twice no more take away in one of the corners, and then we couldn't have one that had a small smile and a memory. It looks lovely. I said, and as she said across from Ruby on the next man. Ah, so Ruby is remembering and literally looking at the memory. You know, she can do that.
Well, I suspect here that Megan is not only scanning her mind, but helping to sharpen their memories, so it becomes more vivid to them too.
Yeah? But be careful with that, you can cause PTSD to mama up.
I guess it depends what memories you target.
But I said, as she said across from Ruby on the next man. Ruby doesn't, as she got the white Martian. So the two of them were in the room. Yet, at the same time, Ruby knew that this was the case. After all, in the real world, they were in the same room. One of the methods of the therapist being attacking. Ah, this is the thing that they do every week. They are doing therapy sessions. Okay, I take it back. I'm not the one to tell the therapist that, oh, be careful, you can get PTSD, because she knows.
You know, I'm not completely clear on Starfire's source of power here. Because I could weigh it as just as much psionic as it is potentially magical, or perhaps something else.
I don't know, you know.
Definitely arcane for Raven though.
Yeah.
With a dash of demonic.
You say a dash.
Yep.
It was Ruby again, walking out of the room and feeling her hand rubbing against one of the desks. A lot of happy memories happened there, happened here. But they found them paused and frowned. You were supposed to be here for 3 more years. We met just one before. Before things went sour. Ruby's words tailed off, but Megan understood exactly where she was going. It's not your fault, Ruby. We are you and your friends, for that matter. The fault lies squarely on Brennan's shoulders. Ruby sighed and sat down on a chair. You see, I know that. He didn't choose to blow up the world, he did. But at the same time, I can tell must feel as though I could have stopped him. No, you couldn't. It's dumb and wrong, but it's not dumb. Leon interrupted. What you are feeling is perfectly natural. We all go through this. What if I did this? What if I did that? Would things have turned out differently? After the Imperial invasion, I must have wondered if had I managed to become enlightened earlier, could I have turned the rest of my original species down a lighter path? Prevent them from trying to conquer Earth? Ah, we are getting some backstory. We are breathing deeply to her nose and looked at me. But you can't account for everyone. People make their own choices, whether they be wondrous or terrible, and you can't control everything. At the end of the day, it was too powerful for any of you. So that far more advanced than Earth or Remnant have tried and failed to stop him. Yet, at the same time, the fact that you made...
How does she know that? That's the first time I've seen anyone in this world have knowledge of Brainiac. Because, you know, back at the Justice League, they were stumped. Now, the only excuse I have is Megan is a white Martian. What does her species aware of that may not have necessarily been publicly stated to everyone else in the Justice
I
League.
mean, she is literally reading Ruby's mind and seeing what Brainiac can do. So,
Sure, but that knowledge doesn't include what Brainiac did to other worlds. Well, kind of. They did encounter evidence of his passage through other worlds through the evidence he's collected little samples in the glass jar. They did find that in a ship.
I mean, either Jojo said that Brainiac destroyed the planet. Or the civilization, not the planet, sorry.
I don't think so. From John Jones's perspective, the majority of the conflict is actually with the White Martians. They were a highly antagonistic race. Um, but I have heard of several iterations that Brainiac did destroy planet Krypton. It wasn't necessarily something Superman was aware of for a while, though.
I don't know. In this part, I'm not versed in this universe. But I believe that she knows more than the humans.
Let's continue.
Yet, at the same time, that the fact that you made it as far as you did is commendable. Well emphasized. You and your friends have been fighting non-stop for 2 days. But Brainiac anyway, I managed to leave Shadow there. To the 8 of you, Ramnon still lives. Don't take that away from yourselves. I mean, Ramnon still lives, most of Ramnon. For now. But bottle up. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Although Ruby didn't fully believe that. But at the same time, he appreciated the sentiment. Lying around, she leaned across her bed and sat up at the makeshift canopy. I had another nightmare.
The fact that she knows her race is still alive in those multiple glass jars is why I'm certain she cannot get closure on this issue.
Yeah,
Because they're still out there able to be rescued, and you probably can't stop thinking about it until it's done or you get defeated by him again.
I mean, we know that Brainiac is coming here sooner or later.
The
Probably later.
situation is different with Krypton, though. It is destroyed, and I don't know if he would have any samples left of them. If you could get to that point where you know the answer one way or another, you could at least finally get closure and move on.
Wait, I don't know. Was there any other kryptonites alive?
Oh yes, oh yeah. There's a few. Not all of them were nice, but like Kara was another. It was also his cousin. Maybe the dog too, Crypto, and there was General Zod and his two cronies.
Oh.
So I know of a few handful of individuals from that world. And then there was also some who were like half Saiyans, a lesser version of Kryptonians. Was he a clone or something like that? Superboy.
But yeah, we don't know how many are alive. But you are right. This makes it much harder to close down anything. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Other women didn't fully believe that, but at the same time, she appreciated the sentiment. Lying around, she leaned out across her bed and sat on the makeshift canopy. I had that. And this is where I was.
Wait, did all that between the sentences here, laid on the makeshift canopy, is that within the memory, or is she doing that in real life?
She stand up, so I think she is still in the.
Memory?
in the
The,
memory.
ca- the canopy is in the memory. Okay.
Yeah. I can bring up Humi's moment.
Makeshift sounds like it's also improvised. Was
Yeah,
it
it was
designed to be
very
carried?
much improvised. I literally had on my ropes and moves, as you can see.
Alright, that almost confirms it. It is the memory.
I had a little nightmare last night. Same one as always. When it comes to Earth, killing all my friends and capturing me. It always ends when the reaches from my eyes. So that's not the end of the break, the tape. Because, oh yeah, at this moment, Ruby doesn't know about her eyes. He has very special eyes, other than really telling you, oh, you are different.
Well, it could be traumatic. Megan could offer to walk through with Ruby in the dream, the memory of the dream, in order to potentially decipher more details that possibly could be important
Yeah,
in preparation for Brainiac's arrival.
I believe that they're gonna change her eyes later on, because it has magical properties. Especially
Okay.
against the game. I mean, you have to have the game to for her eyes to even work, so they can see what it does.
Okay.
I believe it was volume 5 when they started recognizing, oh, you have special powers.
In this world, do you think they might have a little more potential of that, like to say to see magic or something like that?
Maybe?
Okay.
But it is more like paralyzing and destroying him just by looking at them. So it is very powerful. If they right.
Okay.
But other than recognizing humans expect nightmare. She had been experiencing them intermittently about this she arrived. But instead of focusing on how that was going to happen to her, we are trying a different approach. Why always the eye? It's what he was interested in, but he captured me. Why he captured me? But even after all the tests with the league, they still don't know why he was interested in them. They are just normal eyes. Not really, because her silver eyes is 1 in 5 million or even more. It is genetically no, not even genetic. It is very rare in Remnant.
Okay.
We have known of like five people throughout Remnant history who had them. That's not true. They are saying, only going to look towards her. They are your eyes. Let's make them unique. Always smile, appreciate the pep talk from Megan and Chicken. Thanks for everything, really. To all of you. You and Lee. You have to us in, but you didn't have to. All of us really appreciate it. Yumi, you're my friend. All of you are my friend. There's nothing I wouldn't do for any of you. Maybe other than killing. I smiled warmly at Yumi, and the young girl smiled back. We're on the path to a conversation life. And the Mars Martian was brought back to the real world. She looked around the room to see all of her team. All of teams Rumi and Jennifer's team on the couches and chairs. Bill's mind was connected to all of them, independently yet synchronized. Her ability to do so was honed through the years of practice, allowing her to concentrate on everyone's individual needs at one time. There is one character comes to mind right now. Oh my god. Who does very much around the same thing. expect that to know. It's kind of the same thing. Dealing with nightmares. Each of them had their own similar and unique psychological needs for failure. Each player had been carefully documenting and advising their team on ever since they arrived. Nightmares, tremors, certain signs of PTSD. Back then, the teams were in the league's custody. The others had overseen the therapy, but Megan had taken over it. Once they had arrived at Titan Tower, he was happy that significant progress had been made, yet at the same time, knew it would take years for them to fully move on. This was by far the biggest hang up, but I noticed that as she wrote down notes on legal pad. A legal pad? What is a legal pad? Is that what you call it? Wow.
Actually, I'm not familiar with this term either.
These are the legal pads.
I guess,
I know them, but I have never called them legal pads.
Guess I would have called it a notepad, but it's just the pages are put together in a different way. It's not like it's bound to the side of it; it's bound to from the top.
And from what I see, it's almost always yellow paper.
I think you could rip the pages out too, and it's kind of designed for that. Little holes at the top, so that you can rip through it cleanly, if you want to. I don't know why it's used by that term. Maybe it's just often used by lawyers to take notes.
Probably yes.
But that's just a guess.
I expected each of them, not necessarily to the same degree, blame themselves for what happened to them. That if they were stronger, things might have gone differently. That they could have defeated Panic and possibly put the city back. Yet, at the same time, they also knew that thought was malicious and harmful. The fact that they recognized that was a massive relief to the Martian law. As she wrote down more information, like conversations with the other husband and other children, opening out separately from one another, yet at the same time, to face in their own dorm rooms and make it clear me. Joe was still unsure about how he felt towards Farah, knowing it was intense, or not, whether it was merely an intense friendship, or a romantic one. More than anything else, the boy was terrified of losing his best friend over them. She felt the same way towards her partner, and Megan advised most things naturally. Some even tried one day when both were ready. Apparently, Megan and Nora were just a great deal more codependent on each other lately. They were even willing to go on a double date with their teammates to have them to at the orphanage. I mean, Rand and Nora literally lost everyone and the whole city, the whole village, when they were kids, and then they were together.
I had a funny idea that if they could be joined together telepathically, they can go on a date that way, without actually having to spend any money or getting any real nutrition out of the food they eat.
Yeah, but what is the point? It's like drinking coffee without any caffeine. I mean, no, I know that reason for that as well, but
I could also question how quickly any of this is taking place. Is any of the conversations within the telepathic communication faster? It possibly is.
I mean, it is faster than sitting now with each of them in separate times.
I don't think it's slower than talking to each of them verbally one by one.
No. But they both have their own time, so it's fine. They were sure to tell him of the news he found about leaving her parents behind menagerie. She had left them on for terms, and now that Hamlet was gone, worried that she would never see them again. Jack, on the other hand, thought about how she felt losing everyone. It took a while for it to come out. But apparently, their mother had abandoned her and her father when she was just a baby. Yeah, and we know that she had a good reason for it, but still. Neither of the two fathers contesting issues was not lost on Teleport. We will emphasize them to make that her parents, no matter what, loved her despite how she may have left. As she was young, that she didn't have to fear her parents and loved was leaving her. She was most confident of that, given how they bond as a friend, as friends had ever seen their ordeal. Right, we might talk about how much she missed her sister. She knew Winter lived through the battle, but she still worried about what happened after. Throughout the rest of her family, Max often had less fond sentiments. Not true. Not about her mother. She didn't like her mother or her father, but she still loved her mother, even though her mother had drinking problems. She still missed them, but nowhere near the level of her sister. We are suspecting that there was quite a bit more to happen there than Vice Nettle. There was enough to warrant more dedicated sessions to later. Other than that, she managed to go both to have fun, and although she was pouring herself into learning everything she could about the world as coping mechanism. Vice had then fallen towards Julius Myton, which began to modern yet at the same time I keep in moderation. All of them felt a little more bit-like feel that, however, given how none of them had been able to pay for things they wanted. Yeah, I know that feeling. But I was more amused by that than anything else, the reaction is now is all the same. Overall, she was happy with how the two teams were progressing, to a point where she's recommending that they scale back their sessions from once a week to once a month. Trying to herself, Megan leaned back against her chair and pulled out the communicator, asking her mother to ask for a status update. Anything? She said, and he imagined to laughter. A moment later, people mud and Rafi responded. Nothing yet. Even Moody though. Say something new. She doesn't pull it out cheek. Can't say I blame her, but I'm even trying to calm her down. He responded. Rather than this information. I bet things would turn out like this. I mean, you trying to calm her down may actually make things worse. With Raymond. Give her time. I'm sure she will come around soon. I know. When I'm back, love you, sis. Love you too, Nga.
It's nice that the story has this many scene breaks. For
Yeah.
As long as it is, that does make sense too, and it makes additional sense when they keep flip-flopping back and forth between multiple scenarios. You definitely need a scene break there.
Let me look how far we are.
Sure.
We are still going. That's a long scene.
I caught the words Titans Go real quick as you're scrolling up.
I'm not looking at the watch, by the way. Wow, wow. That was one scene back now.
Oh.
Yeah, that might be a bit too much.
I recommend breaking here, and I
Yeah.
wonder if you'll have even yet another day after that.
Yeah, anyway, we are making, I don't know when my sister is here. So, once again, tomorrow my sister comes. In the morning, we can still do the reading for
Okay.
TARDIS.
Alright.
I believe we are not going to be able to do this. But if anything changes, I will tell you.
Okay.
I'm set to be making up. If this was a shorter scene, I would be easily going to it, but not like that.
It really isn't. Yeah, I mean, it took a while for you to find another scene break there. So this next one's pretty big.
And there might be some action actually happening.
Probably.
But yeah, I'm gonna go down with the roads right now because they are waiting for that. And
Yeah.
see you next time. Tomorrow in the morning. For you,
Alright.
it's actually at night.
It's
Bye-bye.
true, but I do think I'll be sleeping and waking within that time.
Yeah,
So it will kind of be like the next day for me.
kind of.
Alright, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I'll let you go now.